Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Grand Rising.
How's everyone doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Winning, winning, winning. How does it feel?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
How's everyone's week been?
Wonderful.
Have you all been getting everything out of it as you desire?
Yes.
Life is fulfillment, and we are always fulfilling it. Let's see here before I move this. Setting our platforms up. Let's see. YouTube. If anybody has any questions, you guys are free to ask questions. Put your questions on Facebook or YouTube. Hop in the Zoom. You want to get in the Zoom, all you have to do is subscribe. All you have to do is subscribe. $5 a month. And you get classes, at least 30 minutes daily worth of classes, Monday through Friday. And you get the seminars as well. A lot of value for everyone. And when you're ready now, get signed up. Get signed up on one of the programs. Start investing in yourself. Going live on Facebook now. We are live, and we are going over definiteness of purpose this month. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? And how can we apply the law of success and achieving the life that we desire? The only thing that we could ever do is change ourselves. I want to be interactive as well. You guys that are in the class, how have you guys been applying it? What have you learned about yourselves? So you guys are welcome to take part in this. And how have y'all been applying these laws of success? And let's for me, success is knowing that you're more than a body, knowing that you're more than your thoughts, knowing that you are not just a physical being experiencing a physical reality. Success is knowing that you are a spiritual being experiencing a physical reality and channeling that energy, no matter who you are, where you've been, where you came into, what part of the world you came into geographically, what country you were born into, what family you were born into, what color they told you you are, what religion they gave you. Success is finding out that you're not your name. You were given a name. Know that every idea that you were given, you realize that you're not that, and that you are so much more. Success is, for me, is the fullest realization that you can get to and aspire to remembering your divinity with this higher source. You want to call it God. I don't get into religions. I know that at the end of it, all religions go to one source. But there is a divine energy. And success is working towards that divinity, developing that divinity from within so you can see it outside of you. And the more we work in that degree, into that direction, we can achieve the things that we want in life, and we can help people. Success is the progressive realization that I'm a spiritual being experiencing a physical reality and becoming more and more aware of that every day, all day long. And then treating others with that respect, honor, and love. If we really understood who we are, we wouldn't treat each other in the manner we treat each other. And we would love each other, and we would help each and every person that we see rise. Rise. Go beyond. Know that we're more than just beliefs. And encourage each and every one of us to live the life that we desire. And help each one do that. This definiteness of purpose is taking back your birthright. Finding that soul purpose. Evolving that soul purpose. Consciously, creatively, functionally. And then helping other peoples along the way. Other individuals and people along the way. I had a burning desire to understand myself. Always have burning desire to understand myself. A passion, a white heat. Passionate about really knowing who I am. And that passion led to all this discoveries that I've had in my lifetime so far. It doesn't end, because you should become more conscious. Consistently, if you're looking towards divinity, you're looking towards higher consciousness, you're looking towards evolving yourself. You just continue to develop more of yourself, let go of beliefs that you once had about yourself, because you figure out and you understand that you're not that. You're not the ideas. You're not anything that you've experienced. You've been experiencing data. You've been experiencing beliefs. And the better you can understand that, and you can change it, the better life you're going to have. I want to start this off by thanking everybody that's here and everybody that's looking at this or looks at it in the future, and invite you guys to invest in yourselves, develop yourselves, change yourself. When you change yourself, you help your family and you help everyone around you. When you're working on you, you benefit, and so do others. And the thing about finding your purpose, really think about it from this angle. Everything I do it on purpose to definite ends. Everything I do it in purpose, on purpose, and with purpose. And this will help you define what purpose means to you. To everyone, it's a different meaning, because each and every one of you are unique. Each and every one of you are God's gift. You are the gift. Your energy is the gift. Your consciousness, your energy that sees, and that is a gift of life. And if you look towards the idea of everything that I do it on purpose, in purpose, with purpose, and you begin to think in this manner, you will begin to see things you didn't see about yourself before, understand things about yourself that you didn't understand before, and then realize what you're not doing on purpose, and it's really not going to take you where you want to go. So you're thinking everything I do it on purpose, in purpose, and with a purpose. You start to really see the behavior. You begin to see the habits, and you begin to question, does this really serve me? Is this going to take me where I want to go? Am I experiencing really what I want? Or am I experiencing beliefs? Where did that come from? Where did the idea come from for me to live in the manner that I'm living? Whose idea was that? Does that serve me? Is it really with a purpose? Is it really on? Am I doing this on purpose? What is that definite in? Where will I be in 1 year from now? Where will I be in 2, 3 years from now, 5 years, 10 years from now? And was it really on purpose? Was it really my purpose? Or was it somebody else's purpose? Did I take on an idea that's not mine? And my God, I have found this over and over and over again. Acting and behaving according to someone else's beliefs, belief systems. And then getting a result I don't really want or enjoy. So when you start to think about purpose, a definite purpose, you find out that the decision-making process in life is huge. Huge. Because if you're not decisively choosing what you're doing on purpose, with purpose, on purpose, you're going to live a life that you really don't want. You're going to get results that you really don't want. You're going to find out, could be a year, 2 years, 5, 10 years down the road, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years down the road, and you figure out that I've been experiencing belief systems. This is real. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, you will experience information. Because consciousness is energy that sees. And as it sees, it wants to measure, and it wants to comprehend, it wants to understand, and then it wants to experience itself. The further I moved into consciousness, origins of consciousness, the further I dove into understanding what does consciousness really mean? And what does it mean for me? Well, it meant everything. Because if we don't understand what consciousness is, we don't understand our own consciousness, we're making decisions, and the decisions are making us. You see, your will has been compromised. My will has been compromised. Everybody's will has been compromised. If you really had free will, the chances are you wouldn't be doing what you're doing today. Listen to me very closely. Wherever you're at, whatever part of the world you're at today, if you had free will, will is your ability to select images. Will is your ability to select images. And if your will was not compromised, immediately when you would be energy that sees and hears, and you would see that somebody else was experiencing something beyond what you know, you would immediately select that, and you would demonstrate that consciousness. Immediately when you saw that somebody else was going beyond the known, you could immediately adapt to the change, adjust to the change, select the image, select the experience, and experience it. Now, it is known all across the globe that only 95, 97, 98%, 99% are experiencing what they don't want. I'm not making this up. I want you to look it up so you can know how controlled we have become by not being aware that we're spiritual beings experiencing a physical reality. "99% are living a life from belief systems. 99.9999999% are living belief systems. And the further you dig into this, you start to realize that everything is data. You're looking at me through the phone, you're looking at through this apparatus, I'm able to travel through time, through space. Everything's data, everything's information. So what is the thing that's pulling this all together? What is the thing that gives life to data? What's spirit? So this is where religion and science come together. You couldn't have one without the other. You couldn't have matter without spirit. You couldn't have spirit without matter. It is a life-giving force. And everything that is a thing comes from this source. As we see, energy that sees, it measures, and it wants to see itself, experience itself outside of itself. Your energy moved in into a child. Child is born. This energy moves in and takes its first breath on purpose. Look at this. On purpose. What is the purpose? To live. To experience itself outside of itself. What is the purpose of life? Fulfillment. Fulfilling experiences. Fulfilling ourselves. Look at everything you've done today. You have been fulfilling your ideas. Some of them you may not have been able to fulfill because you didn't understand how the mind works. You didn't understand who you are. You've coupled backwards. You think you're a physical body experiencing a physical reality. Physical body trying to experience a spiritual reality. You coupled backwards. You think you're the data, and that's the problem. You have taken on this breath, this life, because you wanted to see yourself outside of yourself. You wanted to experience a reality. You wanted to know how it is to have a body, live in a body, to see, to hear, to taste, to touch, to smell. If you were just a spiritual entity, you wouldn't know how to do this. You wouldn't experience this. You wouldn't experience love. You wouldn't experience a child, birth, having children, knowing what love means. So there was a purpose. Purpose was to experience yourself outside of yourself. But so many people didn't understand that if your will is compromised, you're going to experience somebody else's ideas because we follow the leader. Wherever you came in, you learned from them. You identified with them. You took on their ideas as your own. Why? Because that's what we do. We learn by recognition. We learn by demonstration. We learn through the senses. But if we were not educated properly, if we were not educated properly, that I am a spiritual being experiencing a physical reality, if we were not educated properly, we think that we're the body. We think that we're the belief systems. And if we're not educated, the education does not teach people things. It's teaching them to behave as they would never behave. But we don't really understand what consciousness is, how it works, mind, psychology. We will always live outside of ourselves. We'll always have things outside of us controlling our behavior. Decision. The ability to make decisions and stay committed to them. If you're not aware, it's beyond your control. If you're not aware, it will always be out of your control. There's a cycle. I'm going to read this out of lesson 1, a definite purpose. You can do it if you believe you can, Napoleon Hill. There's a psychological as well as economic reason for the selection of a definite purpose in life. Let us devote our attention to the psychological side of the question first. It is a well-established principle of psychology that a person acts are always in harmony with the dominating thoughts of his or her mind. Any definite purpose that is deliberately fixed in the mind and held there with the determination to realize it finally saturates the entire subconscious mind until it automatically influences the physical action of the body toward the attainment of that purpose. Your definite purpose in life should be selected with deliberate care, and after it has been selected, it should be written out and placed where you will see it at least once a day. The psychological effect of doing so is to impress this purpose upon your subconscious mind so strongly that it accepts that purpose as a pattern or blueprint that will eventually dominate your activities in life and lead you step by step toward the attainment of the object back of that purpose. And I go back to every time that I was stuck, I realized that I was using somebody else's beliefs. Every time that I was going to go beyond what I knew, I was having to control my train of thought. Why? Because it was already on purpose. When you're not on purpose, your data, your beliefs, your ideologies, all of that you took on from someone else is on purpose. That's what's got to be deliberate. And why do you have to repeat it? Because you already have ideas about yourself that are already on purpose. You're already talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself all day long. Some of you may say, I don't talk to myself. You're talking to yourself right now. Inside of your own consciousness, as you're viewing what's available out there, who is viewing what's available? If you're thinking from the data is viewing what's available for its own data. So when you look or hear of an opportunity or you see something, you're not seeing it. The data is seeing it. And it's very rare that I find somebody that's conscious of this. If the data was programmed, then the program is measuring reality. If energy is energy that sees, and if it's not coupled correctly, it is not aware that it's spirit is seeing. It becomes the data, and the data sees. You don't hear me right now. You're hearing the words. But behind the word is not you. Behind that word that exists is not you. It's the data that's thinking. Let's take the idea of a dog. Now let's move to from the idea, we'll take the image of dog. We move to the image of Cadillac, Ferrari. For every word that I have is directing your mind to pull the image. You did not see my Ferrari. You did not see my Cadillac. You did not see my dog. So every word has a representation, but as you see the representation, you do not see mine. You see your data. So as you see the dog, or you see the Ferrari, or you see the cat, you're seeing the images that are in your consciousness, your subconscious. So when I say the word flashes on the screen in the mind, but what you're observing is your data. If I say, let's go build a company, and you don't have the data to build a company, there's an error. And if there's an error, or you don't know how to do that, we'll say we don't know how to do that, the mind quickly and automatically goes back to what? It's originating data. Definite purpose is about defining really what you want and then working towards it. Earlier, we were in the Spanish class, and I said, do the thing you don't know. When you commit to doing the thing you don't know, but you do it on purpose, don't just do things to do things. I've done that before. And I was wasting my time because I really didn't want it. So make sure that the thing that you think to do is on purpose, with purpose, and you're passionate about it. Because when you're passionate about doing things on purpose, you'll be more fulfilled, and you get more ideas to move in that direction. So when you're passionate and you're doing the thing you don't know how, you grow. Just do the thing you don't know, but be passionate about the thing you don't know. Make sure that you're doing the thing that you don't know and you're passionate about it. And at the end, when you move into the mastery of it, the thing that was hard becomes easy. The thing that was hard becomes simple. When it's repetitive and you can do it without thinking, now it's in your subconscious. So when you adapt to doing the things that you don't know how to do on purpose, passionately, it's a passion that you desire, eventually the thing that was hard becomes simple. Who did you become along the way? Who you're no longer acting like and behaving like. That is education. What you're doing is re-educating the mind and body to actually behave as it was never going to behave without you intervening and your prior thinking, prior way of organizing ideas, organizing data. So we operate exactly like a computer. We're literally a quantum energetic being. We can do what a quantum computer can do. But if you're stuck in the data is quantifying it, and you're experiencing that data. You guys have any questions? Set question? Let me know. You can do it on Facebook, YouTube. Let me look at our Zoom. You guys are jumping in on Zoom as well. Let me know. As we continue to move into this definiteness of purpose. We have here great illustrations of people throughout time that were doing things on purpose. They were going beyond what they knew, and they were tuning into this field of consciousness. That field of consciousness is your birthright. But if you're not going to that field of consciousness, your perception and your will is being used by the data belief systems. I'd like to give the time to some of you guys that I've been in the class as well. What have you been doing on purpose? How has this information changed your life today? How will it change it tomorrow?
Abram, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm curious about the information about the data that you have, and maybe sometimes the people think that the data or that data is bad things, but it's not bad things, the data or the data. It's what kind of data are you using, are you taking for being your life every day? It's about what kind of data you are taking, not the data. Because you say, if you want to make some business or something, a project, if you don't have the data, if you don't have the data, if you don't have the information, you can't do it, of course, because you don't know how to do it. But if you have the information, then you do it. And the data is not bad when you know what is the data you're using. Is correct?
Yeah, data is just data. But if
Yes.
the data that you're experiencing is not to your desire, then your data, you as a spiritual being, has been compromised by the data itself. You've coupled backwards, and you think that you're the data.
you need to understand what kind of data you are using, where they come.
Yep. And look at the results for what they are. They're not yours. You're using somebody else's information. You
If you
organize.
don't like it. If you don't like the result, it's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's the information that somebody else put there for you, and you are working with this.
And you absorbed it. Really think about every aspect of our lives. We're using somebody else's information, and we use that to think.
It's like when some people say it's because you believe, it's because you paradigms, and you need to change it. But you don't need to take off your habits or your paradigms. You need to change it. You need to change it because you're always going to have it, beliefs or data, but you need to change it.
Most definitely. It'd be the same thing as upgrading. Right now I'm talking to Vicky. Vicky's speaking, and Vicky is learning English. And she made a decision that she would start coming to the English class. She's in Spanish class. And the minute she made that decision, reality is unfolding differently. She's unfolding differently because she made a decision. But at the same time, we're not used to making decisions to change ourselves because we're comfortable with who we are. And when you're comfortable with who you are, you don't experience more.
Of course. And Saturday, I'm taking English class, usually. Today, I call and I say, I can't go. I say, today, I didn't go. See you Monday. And they say, why? And I say, because I have my seminar in English and I can hear and hear because I want to focus. If I want, I can go to my class and put my earphones and hear you and hear her, but I don't want to do that because I want to focus. I'm broken. I'm breaking my beliefs and I'm breaking my habits and the data and everything that I have. And here, maybe the people that is on the subscription page, they have the information in Spanish and they have the information in English, but they feel comfortable in Spanish and don't listen to the English seminar. And they still staying on the data. But if they want to make a change, maybe, I don't know, they can hear that seminar in English. And the mind going to say, you don't gonna understand, you don't speak English. And I say, okay, I don't care. I just want to hear that. Then in other time, I want to understand it. But today I want to hear that. You know what I say?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One time some people say, why are you hearing English class if you don't speak English? And I say, oh, I can't speak English. I don't know how to speak English, but I know how to read the lips. I'm reading his lips.
And look how far you've come.
Yeah. The matter is I'm here and I'm more than standing everything because I want
years
it.
back talking to you in Spanish, and we've known each other for several years. And the evolution that you made continues to grow. And I see more and more of you, the higher side of you. And it's beautiful.
But it's because I take a decision to change my data.
Yeah.
I want to change it. And I feel so comfortable when I'm speaking English and when I try to read in English. And I have just 1 month on my English class and they say, oh, you are so good. You have a good pronunciations and I don't know what are you doing here. And then I say, I'm here because you always can be better than better if you want. And I want to be better every day. And maybe because I want to make a seminar with my mentor one time. We make a presentation, and I want to be a good speaker to do this in other countries. And they say, "Oh, okay." And I say, "I know you don't understand right now, but it's okay. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing, and I
Yeah.
don't need a people understand me. I understand what I'm doing."
Nope. You're unfolding another reality. So as we think, Vicky's talking about the future that's coming
And changing the data.
and changing the data, changing the human personality, changing the hue. The hue changes man. In the old Sanskrit, hue man. Hue was higher consciousness in man that works through man. So success is going beyond programs. Success is understanding your birthright and re-educating that body to have to behave as it was never going to behave without your awareness being there. Otherwise, we're trapped. I can tell you guys, if there's people that have known me and know me in the past, I'm not the same man I was 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm not.
3 years ago, 2 years ago, I'm not the same person.
I'm not the same person I was exactly a year ago, a month ago, because I continued developing myself. Through that process of changing myself, yes, I was living things and experiencing things that I did not want. But I was sick and tired. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired and not doing anything about it. I clearly, I can go back and remember the days when I was doing things that really wasn't a life fulfilling purpose. I was doing it on purpose to survive. I was doing it on purpose and listen to the word, doing it on purpose to survive. Do it on purpose to get by. If you're getting by, that's the purpose. And you're fulfilling it. Listen how words conduct reality. Because it's a movement behind it you need to understand and understand. You've got to deprogram what you've learned. If you're surviving, that's the data. It's not you. If you're barely making it, that's the data. That's not you. You have chosen to experience that according to the images that you're using, and it has caused you to act and behave as you're behaving today. But that's not you. That's the data.
You are seeing the same movie all the time. Yesterday I was talking about some people don't like to see 3 or 4 or 5 times the same movie because they know the end. And they say, "Oh, I saw that picture, I saw that movie, I don't want to repeat it." But then I say, if you don't want to repeat the movie, why are you repeating your own data? It's the same result, it's the same end all the
Yeah.
time. It's the same picture. And you continue there, you continue doing the same thing, but you are not conscious about that. You don't know, you ignore that. But you are
Well
doing
said.
the
You're not
same.
conscious of it.
You are not conscious about this. You are doing always the same, and you have the same results, but you are still doing it. But you don't know you are doing it.
And the you is not you. It's belief systems.
And when you hear this is not you, then you go to be mad because you say that's me, but this is not you. It is not to you because this is not you. We don't want to change you because this is not you. We want to change the data
And
behind
majority of
you.
people want to change the result, but they don't understand in order to change the result, you've got to change you.
But
We're
this
going
is
to
not
be here,
you.
yeah. We're here in August. We're going to go to Peru. Inviting you guys. You guys want to? We're going to be doing a seminar and a retreat July and August, and I think we're already looking to do one in September in Peru. You guys are interested, send me a message. But we're going to be going through changing the narrative. Once the narrator has been created, once your identity as you see yourself, but that's not you. But once the idea of you has come to life, you got to change that, because that's not you. But that will lead you to the behavior you will experience. When we look at your imagination has taken you as far as you can go today. And not that you cannot go any further. You can't. Everyone can go further than what they're expressing today. But you literally have to go beyond what you know. Your urge for life, your urge for a better life must go beyond what it knows. And if it cannot go beyond what it knows, you're stuck. Let's look at the urge. Vicky, I'm going to use Vicky, for instance, right now. What urged you to start the company that you're in? One of the companies, moving to selling turkey, raising turkey and distributing turkey.
When I start or why I'm doing?
What was the urge? What caused you to do that?
What caused to me?
Yes.
Just the decisions. I take the decisions and I made the work. And I don't know how to do this when I decided. I just want to do it. I just have an idea and I take my idea and I put in practice. And I have a store and I serve people and I give theirs turkey meat and they are happy with that and I feel comfortable with that. And I have people that work there and I'm helping the people behind the job. I'm there. They don't see me, but I'm there because I'm thinking and I'm making ideas to make that job. And when I start to do this, some people say I'm crazy because it's different. Talking about everything that I do, it's different. And I say, yes, I know it's different. I never do that before. That's the reason I'm gonna do it. And I do it.
And you've done it. I watched you unfold as you're doing it. You get the idea, found the land, bought land. I watched you unfold, and I watched.
I go into the spirit of everything because I want to understand it, and then I can feel the animals. I can feel the people. I can feel when you do something. For example, now I am studying some verbs, and they send me an audio to study, and I say the people that record this audio don't think about the students and don't think about to help the students because it just make it. When you think about the other, you can see the work behind, If I make a video, now you are making a video, you are making a transmission and you talk and you explain everything because you want the people to understand everything that you are saying. Right? You are not talking. You are not just talking here. You are trying to explain everything because you want the people that hear you or understand everything that you are saying, like you when you are a student. You are thinking in you like a student, being the teacher. I don't know if it's correct what I say.
Oh yeah.
And then I made everything like a user, but I am the service. I make everything like a customer, but I am the waitress, for example. And then I made everything just the how I wanna receive, not just to give. How I want to receive the information, how I want my mentor talk to me how I want that. And if I have that, if I have that feeling, then I can teach to other people because I know how. I go inside. I'm not just talking here. I'm not a book. I'm a person. I'm a spirit inside the information.
Very good. Very good analogy as well. So in building business, Vicky is demonstrating that her consciousness must see, be willing to see herself, and also see the other side of the offer, what she's offering. And the better she gets a better understanding of the offer that's being given and the recipient as they're receiving, she can appropriate a better way of influencing and helping her customers and guiding them and helping them achieve what they wanted, right? And that's the thing for life is your ability to make sound decisions, evoke yourself, move yourself into the direction of the goals and desires that you want. I didn't at different times of my awareness, and I was developing myself, there was things I didn't know how to do, and there was things I really wasn't good at it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing was do it. And I remember a lot of people would say that was a failure. No, there's no such thing as failure. It's a folly. If you never stop, you will learn. And that is one of the root elements that stop people all over the world is they're afraid to not know. They're afraid to fall down. They're afraid to get up again. And that is the sequence of life and unlearning and relearning. You may fall, get up. You may use the word, I don't like the word fail. I like the word of folly. I've committed many follies, many follies. But also, as I commit the folly, I find out what not to do and how to do things better. And if you were never committed to go beyond what you know, you will always be living the life from your programs, from your belief systems. You will never re-educate the mind and body to act and behave as it never would have, because you're using the same information that you came in from. So you may never create an error, but the rest of your life will be an error. And I don't mean in a bad way, but you're going to live a life that you really don't want. And the error is not willing to recognize yourself as divine. I started this from the very beginning. We are divine, divinity. And when people suppress that divinity, they get sick. Listen to me. When you suppress your divinity, that's where chaos starts to happen. Because your spiritual, your innate spiritual, by design, is to grow, to go beyond. This divineness is always looking for further, better, wider, larger. Your spiritual nature was meant to evolve. And when you suppress that evolution, you're suppressing energy. And as you suppress energy, the body gets sick.
I think when you are making your propose, when you are making that, if you are doing from the divine, you can feel it because then you are doing to others. But when you suppress that, you are just working for you, to you. When you work from the divine, you grow up because you are helping others, and everything that you do to others, not to you. When you are working to you, you didn't grow up because it's just to you. You are not working from the divine.
Yeah. You're not developing yourself. You're not changing. And the one of the biggest things for awareness as well is that eventually you've tried to personally develop the person, and it won't work anymore. Everybody gets to a point where you can no longer take that personality to the new reality. You've got to change that personality. You've got to change that person. So personal development is about taking the data and developing the data, and then you'll get to a point where you're forcing the data to become something it's not, and that's where spiritual development comes in. Then you've got to go beyond that person, and you got to change. You got to evolve. So personal development for me is the beginning stages of higher consciousness, and then figuring out that you're not your mind, you're not your body, that you are divine, you're more than what you're experiencing. You've got that awareness that you're more than what you're experiencing. And if you can get that awareness that you're more than what you're experiencing, you are meant for more, you're here for more. If you have that touch inside of you that's telling you, I was meant to do more, that is divinity trying to awaken you to let you know that if you continue on the same path, if you keep using the same memory, same idea, same human personality, you're not going to go beyond what you are. And you will be controlled, and you are being controlled. And your destiny has more or less been written. But it's written not from you. It's written from the place you came into. Awakening is becoming aware that you're more than the body. Awareness will trigger a muscle. Awareness triggers a muscle. Awareness triggers empathy. Awareness triggers telepathy. Awareness triggers consciousness. Awareness is advising you to go beyond what you know. Let's look at every genius. A genius is somebody that is expressing ideas beyond the common way of thinking. A genius is just an individual that is going beyond what he knows. We're all geniuses. A genius is somebody that is expressing information beyond what he knows. That's called imagining. So when you can tap into that field on purpose to go beyond what you know, you're literally releasing genius. We're all geniuses. Normally expressing the data. We're all geniuses, normally expressing data. We're all divine, normally expressing data. Data that we don't want. Your human personality, spirituality, is designed to move into information and extract that information to symbols, movements, orchestrations. We're the only ones that can move as far as what society has shown, as far as what they've told you or showed you, that can extract an idea from the field and then live inside of it. This house, we're the only ones that we know it as so far that can tap in that infinite field of consciousness and reduce it down to matter and experience it. Clothing, where'd it come from? Tapping into that field. So if you're not going beyond what you know, you're not experiencing more life. It's not that you can't. You just don't understand how the mind works. And that's what we do. We're here. I've devoted my time, and I devote my time every week to develop myself, and I also devote my time to research and development. I never stop. The people that have been in my classes for years know that I am consistently researching how to further develop myself and develop other people. And because I continue to do that, I'm always finding more. As you find more, you can help more people. So we're getting closer to time. I think we are at our time. You guys that are watching this, sign up to the subscription. You can get the rest of the class. You can enter the Zoom link. $5 a month. You get classes Monday through Friday. You get at least 30 minutes daily, Monday through Friday. And you can start the process of learning this information. It can be done. You can change. If I can change, you can change. If you would have saw me 30 years ago, you would know that you can change. What you see today is it is It is the responsibility of taking action and working on me. That was the purpose. I did not want to live the way I was living. I did not want to experience what I was experiencing. I no longer want to live the life I was living. But I had to change me. Invest in yourselves. Get started. You want to get more involved? You want to get into the higher programs? You have to invest in yourself. And I am going to charge you. And I'm going to charge you good money. Because when you're willing to pay, you pay attention. I remember people look at an information for free, or I remember people talking when I was in these classes with Bob before he passed away. I remember people talking about how expensive the classes were. And I remember a young man entering, well, he wasn't young anymore. I say that young, he's still young, but he was young man, 18, 19, 20s. And he said he was looking at the free videos. And he was consciously understanding more, but he wasn't getting the results. And I remember it was one of the classes, and he had spent, I don't know which one it was, maybe 30 grand, 20 to 30 grand. And it was one of the classes with Bob, and he was in our class for 6 months. And he said, thank you for charging what you charge. He goes, I would have never learned who I have to be in this class. What he had figured out by forcing himself to pay for that class, by setting a goal, he was going to come up with the money, and which was more than what he earned annually. He had developed himself. He had re-educated his mind and body to act and behave as it was never going to behave without setting that goal. So for him to be able to afford to be in that class and pay that money, he changed himself. And by changing himself, then he's in the classroom. And he thanked Bob for changing what he charged, because it was causing him to go beyond what he knows. Goals are not to get, they're to grow. Once he learned how to do that, and he could continue doing it, he had Bob to thank the rest of his life. Why? Because then he could produce the results monthly, annually, for the rest of his life. What we don't comprehend is that if you do the same thing for the rest of your life, you're going to repeat the days. And it wasn't about repeating the day. If you're repeating the days, you're repeating the years, you're stuck.
Aaron,
I invite you guys to invest in yourselves. Thank you, guys. Jump on the
Aaron,
subscription, look at the page.
I want to tell you something before you say bye-bye to the people about the payment.
Yep.
When I start, it was so a little bit magic, because when I found you, I didn't have money for class, but I take it, and it was today. I can say it was cheap, because it was about $50 or something by month. And I said, okay, I can do this. I can make this sacrifice to do it. And I start, and I was working in the radio station and TV station. And I remember when I had my first meeting with the team for I Am Mastermind, and I want to take my matrix class, and I want to be on the team. And I say, how am I going to pay this? Oh, it's a lot of money for me, because I just have $15 by month. And I say, okay, my Facebook going to pay it. And I start to think, my Facebook going to pay my class. And I remember that I customized my Facebook, and my Facebook paid my class. I remember that 1 month I have $3,000 payment 1 month in my Facebook. And that's the way that I paid Matrix the first time. And I'm talking about 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm still here, pay every month my class, every month my class. Now I don't have my payment from Facebook, because I changed my life, and and this is how can I say, this is the result. I don't have the same product on my Facebook, and the people now is not interesting about this one. But the things that I want to say is, if you want to do it, you're gonna find a way to do it. And in that moment, my desire was so strong, and I say I want to do it. My Facebook gonna pay it. I put some movies on my face. People seeing the movie. Facebook paid to me my class. It's magic. It's crazy, but it's real. Sometimes we stop because we say we don't have money, but you really have it around you. In everything that you see, you have the money that you need. And more than that, you have the money that you want. I know you have it. Just look around. You're gonna find it. If you really, really, really want to change, if you really, really, really want to change your results and your life, you're going to see that around you, you have the money that you need. Maybe today you say, okay, I don't need that share and I don't need that computer. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to pay my class. But in next years, you maybe have to money for buy 3 or 5 computer, or 5 or 6 shares. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do when you really want to grow up. That's what I want to say. Thanks.
Well said. Thank you. And if you paid attention, she didn't have the money.
No,
She
I
made a
don't.
decision.
I make decisions. I just make decisions. Yeah, I
She's
remember that I paint in my wall. I paint in my wall that I receive more than $1,000 every month from Facebook. And I paint, and I have a picture because I made it 5 years ago, and I got it, and I paid my class. I just take a decision.
There's proof. This is proof again that anything's possible. But you've got to decide. Once you make a decision, the world will begin to move around you, with you, through you. And it always has been. But the decision has been the data's point of view. So make a decision, change yourself, work on yourself, develop yourself. Thank you guys. Once again, get the subscription, switch over, you can continue on the Zoom link. Many blessings. Share this with their family, share with as many people as you can, because everybody deserves the opportunity to at least get this in front of them and see it. And then little by little make the decisions they want, or immediately make a decision to change their life. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day, wonderful day. And we'll
Abraham,
be talking.
Abraham,
Yes.
let me say something to someone that heard you as well.
Mhm.
It's very important to understand that this is the work that must be done for you to live the life that you want to experience. Because the definite purpose is the true path to experience love and experience life. And the success is the result of experience love and be able to express love because you become love and one with God.
Oh yeah. Well said. Love is the passion that ignites, creates. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Angelo.
Thank you.
Thank you guys that are on live. We're going to continue on.